As Enrique mentioned, there's a number of startups that are in this space, and we've got a couple of showcases from, well, two just coming on now. Firstly, from active sportwear to more passive sportwear. We have Zane from iGear, who I'm sure you've seen their exhibition at the back. They've got some really innovative, I say smart garments, and they've also got a model here today who's been wearing them. He's actually been here for a number of times wearing a number of the garments, but I'd love to introduce Zane to talk a bit more about what iGear are doing. So please put your hands together for Zane.
Hello everyone, it's good to be here. Thanks very much for coming along, and thanks to Carl and the team for putting this excellent show together, and thanks to the event sponsor as well, Google. My name is Zen, as Carl said. I'm the co-founder of iGear. If you haven't already realised what I stands for, it's a Scottish term, och either now. Most of you probably have heard it in some form or the other. So what is it that we do? How is it going to help you? What is iGear going to do for you? Basically, when we started off, we identified areas in the market, we identified gaps, and then we brought out products that we thought these are going to fulfill the needs or the issues. And Forbes magazine, I think, nailed it pretty much as to what they thought of our garments. They reviewed our garments and they thought they were fantastic. The issues, going to head. The issues that we identified, we get asked a lot as to who our garments are aimed for. Initially we started marketing more towards the gadgeteers, but then came along the sports segment, for example, the travellers, and we get a lot of people travelling overseas or just anywhere and they want to escape the baggage fees that airlines are charging, or you're getting hassled by airport security. How many times have we been through those scanners and there's one coin somewhere in our pockets that is triggering the alarm and we're going back and forth? The idea is you just go up to the scanner, take your garment off, it's got dedicated pockets for everything imaginable, and you walk through the scanner, no problems. Ideal for a business traveller. Then we also get those travellers who want to just not pay Ryanair or EasyJet the baggage fees, and they carry everything on them, and there's no legal allowance to date that stops them from doing so. And it also is the best. I've been told, customers always tell me that they've been saved many a times when they're abroad and pickpockets, because the idea of our garments is everything is located within easy reach for yourself, not for anyone else. All your travel essentials, your passports and so on. And so it's really these four garments. We initially started off with one, the vest, and slowly over the last 2 or 3 years it has grown. We moved into fleece, hoodies, jacket and t-shirts. Now I know this, I can see someone in the back saying they don't really believe what I'm saying. So, got an iPad? Yeah. And the cool thing also is, if you've got a smartphone, any smartphone works. So you can use the smartphone within the jacket itself, you don't need to take it out. Ideal for any of you travelling to Scotland. The way the weather isn't as tropical as it is here. So you can use your phone or an Android device, BlackBerry device, anything. And your earphones are all also carefully routed into the collar area, and they come out the other side as well. Sorry, you got something to say? Or you want to see more, you said? As a real laptop. So the idea is everything's carefully managed. It's not just a garment with tons of pockets attached to it. Everything, the way the garment's been stitched, the way the combination of the fabrics, the way the pockets open, it's all carefully balanced. And here's kind of what it takes me into next, is sports. So I'm a cyclist myself, and I like to keep my phone, any maps or my digital camera with me at all times. And if I'm going casual riding with the family and so on, allows me to have everything within easy reach without the need in carrying a bag, so to say. You get a lot of hikers as well. Again, all their stuff is attached to it, and if you're a jogger or runner, you've got your iPod and your earphones all managed. And going back onto cycling, so our t-shirts are popular with cyclists the most because they want to carry minimal stuff on them. Most jerseys that you get are either 1 or 2 pockets on them, not much. So the way the pockets on the t-shirts are, for example, are strategically located, easy to access. You've got a nice mix of zip and non-zip pockets. And we have also been in the gadget show a few times. Again, it's really diverse. You get everyone from doctors to surveyors to mountain rescue. So keeping on the kind of sports theme. Also FIFA World Cup, we had one of the program managers who was in charge of the shooting of the actual FIFA World Cup, and he wore his and he's given it a glowing review as well. And it's always nice to see when you're at these events to see customers. We did have one who's wearing it, so it's always good to see someone who's using theirs and got good things to say. And it's Ken himself.
Ken, you should stand up and model, I think. Stand up and model it.
Were you fishing for a testimonial? I mean, I've got a use case for you. Maybe it's on your slides. But
Yeah.
The last year, I come into London regularly. I work from home mostly in London a couple of weeks. And I used to carry backpacks, briefcases. I had physio because of the weight on one side and all that sort of thing. And I hardly ever come into town at all with carrying any man bag, backpack, whatever, partly because I'm moving everything into the devices I carry, and then I can carry all those things and perform meetings or whatever with the information I need and take away paper sometimes if I have to. There's pockets for that too.
Yeah,
You got the testimonial.
Thank you very much. There's plenty more. You get emails pretty much day to day on how it's helping people out there with people with health problems or people with backaches, or they want to be as mobile as possible but yet be minimal when they're out. And this is one of our latest garments, which I happen to be wearing just now. Sleeves are removed, so it's got removable sleeves, completely waterproof. Breathable fabric. It really is. It's not just, you might be thinking it's just a garment with loads of pockets on it, but on the outside, if you check some of the reviews out, the fabrics are on par with some of the latest brands you see in store. It's the same factories that are making it. So the combination of fabric, the stitching, the pockets, it really does. And we've been on plenty of medium outlets. We were also in the latest X-Men that was out last year, I believe, Days of Future Past. Bryan Singer, the director of X-Men, were on set. That was pretty good. You can see it on YouTube. You can go onto the YouTube channel and check the video out. And that's it. If any of you are interested in purchasing it, there's a 10% discount online. Feel free to use the code Wearables. And that's it. I'm open to any questions if anyone has any.
Thank you, Zane. As he had said, anyone have any questions at all?
Did you have a background in textiles opposed to cruise?
Yes, family. They've been making textiles for the past 20 years or so. So it was a nice kind of, I was coming at it from a tech angle because I'm tech crazy. So it was nice to have that help in the back, that push in terms of the technical details.
Just curious to know, what's the biggest size of the biggest pocket?
Interesting.
Like, the laptop you put it, so is that the only size?
No, it's interesting you asked that. I should have mentioned that earlier on. The biggest pocket's actually in the back, open from both sides. So you can essentially, it has a 13 or a 15-inch MacBook Pro. Yeah, well, MacBook size, any MacBook size, 15 inches.
I saw one of your videos, you put out a pair of jeans.
Yeah, pair of jeans, yeah. There's actually, if you want to see more of these kind of comedy videos, we've got them on the YouTube channel, so it'll give you a good idea before you click the purchase button.
If you go through airport securities
Hmm?
and then you have the jacket swap
Yeah.
gadget, you need to take everything out.
That's the beauty of it. You just approach the scanner, everything's in your jacket, you approach the scanner, you take it off and you put it on the belt and that's
So
it.
you don't need to take everything.
Exactly. So you even got like pockets, small pockets for your coins, neck pockets. So everything, your pen in here as well. So everything's really been kind of taken care of you. Yeah.
It's very impressive. It's very functional, but it's and perhaps not a fair question because we're talking about people using this for sports.
Sports, yeah.
But what do you think about individual differences? The last meeting we were talking about healthcare and people actually choosing quality of life over their personal health. In this, you have to choose kind of functionality over maybe some aesthetic sensibilities. And there's some customers you're probably never going to get with the aesthetic. Perhaps I've not seen your whole range, but I'm not going to buy a vest personally. And I think, are you happy enough to go for that almost niche of people who will wear cargo shorts as well as the vest, versus someone who would never wear cargo shorts and probably won't wear the vest either?
I think mainly people who get our clothing, not all of them, I would say there's only a small minority that get it and fill up every single pocket. Most of them are, for example, the budget, people who go on the budget airlines, they use it absolutely max. But the day-to-day traveller, your iPad, your phone, it's minimal things. And most of the technology that we're seeing just now in terms of healthcare, I wasn't here last time, but everything's kind of going mobile. Everything's from laptops to desktops, everything's coming onto iPads and iPhones. And so I imagine over the next few years, it's just going to head that way.
But it's also turning beautiful, right? The iWatch is beautiful, and maybe that's an asshole question because I don't see the vest and I wouldn't wear it.
Yeah.
So there's a lack of beauty in the vest that you're currently wearing.
I think it's beautiful.
There's going to be a fight tonight.
So how are you dealing with individual differences? Or are you just ignoring that part of the market?
Ignoring it, and the thing is, we're not out there to be, on our garments there's nothing that says ID on it. There's no kind of personal branding, it's not a fashion statement, so to say. The idea is you're not a threat, you're not, if you're carrying a bag with you, let's say in a rough area, you're most likely to get jumped, as they say in Scotland, like as in, people coming up to you and stealing your bag. But if you're carrying your iPad, for example, in your pocket, you're less likely someone's going to approach you and, because they're going to say, it's not really got anything on, So it's from that angle, we've kept it casual. It's not stylish, it's not a fashion statement by any means. It's just meant to be minimal and kind of, blending in with the day-to-day and having that functionality to it.
It's probably worthwhile having a look at the rest of his range as well. You might find something that you may see.
Yeah, we do hoodies and t-shirts and all sorts. So, yeah.
Have you given consideration on how safe it is to keep everything in pockets that are somewhat exposed? So in the back, you have really big pockets and with the MacBook, but you're simply exposing it to strangers. If I'm on the tube, I'm imagining it'd be quite easy for someone to just unzip it.
No,
Can you feel that when you're wearing it as well?
that's where the beauty of the zips come in. So the back zips have got that tough kind of feel to it. So as you open it, you can't, the wearer can feel it. So the idea is meant to be secure from both ways. And the reason why there's two zips on each side is so that it's easy for you to get in and out. But there's no kind of angle to it where it's not safe. It's been tested in customers. There's actually a picture on our website where a guy is carrying his laptop and he's on a motorbike. We get images all the time. It's on our Instagram feed, feel free to check it out. But it's crazy what people can send you. Any more questions?
I'm curious, putting something heavy here, putting something heavy here. So is that ergonomically, like did you do a study on it to see if it's ergonomically right and how it's putting on one side and not putting on the other side? Is that something?
Yes, so we went through various prototypes, and coming back onto what I said at the start, it wasn't just an idea of getting tons of pockets and, you know, just letting it be. It was tested to see which pocket would suit where, and where we've got a weight management system in place, so the pockets are allocated and stitched in a way that they don't droop. Like when I came on stage, you wouldn't realise that I had these two devices on me. It was just the way it was carefully constructed.
What if it's not afterwards? What if it's now? Because everything throughout is afterwards.
Yeah, you can have.
What if it's a big Toshiba?
Yeah, Toshiba, Microsoft, Samsung. You can have a.
But when you now look, do people notice you're actually putting a big laptop?
I guess it depends on what model you have.
Proper like big, yeah.
So-
So it look a little bit more obvious you have
So-
a big laptop.
Coming back onto what was said earlier, the pockets can only hold a certain size of device. So the back pocket, for example, can take a 13 to 15-inch MacBook Pro. As far as that I've seen, Dell don't really do an equivalent of that machine. But the 13-inch Dells fit in perfectly fine. Not sure about 15 inches, it varies.
There's a lot of business travel.
Yeah. Yeah.
Last question then?
Yeah, I mean, what are your plans for growth? I mean, and how you find your new users? What are your channels?
Yeah, it's interesting because adding pockets is one thing, but we're trying to take steps further. We've got a Kickstarter on as well where we're trying to get battery packs and battery technology built in, more features added on other than pockets, and also adding some sort of, you've probably seen this recently where Ralph Lauren is bringing in some health technology into the t-shirts and garments. It's very early stages. We are working on our own kind of health-related fabrics. Nothing is set in stone, but I think over the next 5 years or so, I think that'll be the next big trend for it.
Oh,
Yeah, thanks very much. Thank you.
And obviously, if you have any more questions, Aiden's colleague at the back, and obviously they've got the Ranger as well. I thoroughly recommend having a look through it.